Today we're going to talk about a little crypto strategery. I'm going to show you a method and a way of thinking, so please stay with me. We're going to go through two things. I'm going to go fairly quickly, but I'm going to make the argument that it's possible to make more money this bull run with potentially less risk. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. First, this is Crypto for the Rest of Us. I'm Brian, big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. That's my disclaimer, informational purposes only. Okay, some people might think picking a crypto and receiving a 15x return is the same as a 5x return, a 5x return, and a 5x return. 5 is 15. That's 15. It's not. So first, let me tell you a couple assumptions. Bear with me. I'm making broad assumptions. And then I'm going to show you the method on how I think you can make more money, and I'm implementing it myself. First off, this is the total crypto market. You can see here it's about 3.51 trillion. If you're not familiar, you go to TradingView, you type in total. I don't know if it's all the crypto, it's at least the largest market cap ones, a big portion of it. This is what everyone looks at. So a lot of people have said that the total market will get to about 10, maybe 12 trillion. Well, let's just say that would mean a 3x. Okay, so if on average, if this market gets to 10 or 12, and on average, every crypto would do a 3x return. Okay, now let's look at what's called others. Others, just type in OTHERS, is, I believe it's all the altcoins, or the vast majority of of them, except for the top 10. It takes out the top 10, taking out Bitcoin, taking out Ethereum, because once the altcoin season starts, in theory, based on past experience, Bitcoin and Ethereum won't be moving as much. It'll be these alternative coins, and also within the top 10 or maybe some meme coins, I'm not sure, but at least two of the stable coins. So let's just assume that this is the altcoins. And people have said it's currently at 334 billion, that this should get to around 2 trillion. When I say people, I watch shows from other crypto people, I watch some economists, you name it. People that focus on money supply versus other things. And generally speaking, it seems to be around 2 trillion. Again, I'm making some assumptions. All right, so what does that mean? If this were to get to 2 trillion, let's say all the altcoins, that would be about a 5 to 6x. So what did we just come to assumption-wise? If you keep up with the market in total, it would be about a 3x. Altcoins, about a 5 to 6x. Let's keep it simple and call it a 5x. But think about what that means. It means that you're keeping up with the market. So, essentially, give or take, 33% will do less than 5%. Let's say 33% do 5%, and 33% do more than 5%. That means that you've got about a 66% chance of picking a coin that does 5% or less. I know I'm simplifying it, but you get the idea. My point is, not going to be easy even to pick a 5x coin. Another assumption. So the first assumption is, generally speaking, we think altcoins will do a 5x, some less, some at, some more. Think about picking a 15x coin. For example, I use that because I was saying 555 is not the same as 15. We'll talk about that in a second. But picking a 15x coin, as you can see, is going to be more difficult, and it will probably take a longer period of time for that coin to reach the 15x. This bull run may only last a year. It may only last 6 months. We're not entirely sure. So if that's the case, then you might have to hold on to that one coin for a while. Okay, now the fun part. Let's say you pick a coin and you're waiting for it to do a 15x, and you have $100. You put it in that coin. Let's say it hits a 15x. You beat the odds. You made what? $1,500. Okay, here's another scenario. You get a coin and you want it to do a 5x. And maybe it does that fairly quickly. It doesn't take the entire cycle. Some have already done that already, and it's in a particular industry. So that $100, 5x is $500. You sell it. You now take your $500, put it in another coin. Remember, 5x is just meeting the market standard. And let's say that's in a different industry, because we believe past performance has shown that one industry will peak, some of the money will be taken out as it comes down a little bit, moved into another industry as people's attention move from one thing to another. When I say industry, I'm talking about, for example, maybe it's in cross-border payments, and then it moves over to RWA, and then it moves over to AI, and then it moves over to general DeFi, and then it moves over to DPIN, whatever it may be. So the next 5x, you've taken your $500, you've sold it. You put it in another coin in a different industry because that industry hasn't moved yet. I'm going to show you an example here in a second. Well, 500 times 5 is $2,500. Look, you just beat the 15x coin. And all you did was pick two 5x coins. One hit, you sold, you put it in another one. 15x on $100 got you $1,500. And 500, the first 5x got you 500. Another 5x got you 2,500. Hold on. What if you got another 5x? I think it's entirely possible that you might be able to flip that money 3 times. If that were the case, you'd ultimately get 2,500 times 5, which is $12,500. Now, what did you really get? Well, there was the 15x coin versus 555, which is actually 125x. Do you think you'll pick a 125x coin? Probably not. Even if you just move the money twice, you got a 5x and a 5x, that's still a 25x. And I think that's much more likely that I am much more likely to be able to do that than I'm going to be doing a 25x coin or a 125x coin. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Don't poo-poo because of the one it is. There have been some coins that have already moved. We know Hedera's already moved, XLM, Stellar Lumens, XRP, and a bunch of others. Well, this particular one, I got in around 50 cents. And as you know, I've sold and sold and sold because I've talked about it. And I completely exited my position. I averaged everything out. And it turns out I got a 5.1x return on my money. Okay, that's a 5x. So I've already gone through the process, at least with one coin, of reaching a 5x, taking the money out. Why? Because I think I'm much more likely to put that money into another coin and get a 5x than I am to have this one go to a 15x. That would have to go substantially higher. It went from my position of 50 cents to $2.50, now it's $3, but at $2.50, that's a 5x. So 50 cents at a 15x would be what, $7.50? So I'm thinking to myself, the chances of this going to $7.50, or if it went to a 25x, how long would that take? This would have to get to $12.50. So I said, you know what? This might get up there, but it might take the entire run. And actually, I don't think it's going to get up that high. So what about moving it into something else? Now, here's a completely different industry. Ondo, real world assets. If you look at the chart here, I think the argument can be made that it really hasn't done a run yet. It's at $1.25. And from a lot of different people giving their price predictions, I think a $5 or $6 Ondo is not out of the realm of possibility, which would be a 5x. What if then, assuming real world assets, let's look at something in the DeFi space, a decentralized exchange, Arrow. I think we can make the argument that this particular one has not made a run yet either. And I've seen predictions of anywhere, I don't know, $7.50 to $12.50. So a 5x on $1.10 for Arrow, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility either. And if Ondo and Arrow move at different times, then we might be able to move it into one and then move it into another. And that would be a 5x and another 5x and potentially another 5x. What did I do with my XRP money? I actually put it in much smaller cap ones, looking for bigger runs because I thought, well, that's interesting. I'm really looking for a 5 to 10x on all my coins. I'd be very happy. I believe I might have some that do more, some that do less. But I think this strategy makes way more sense because we're already seeing things move before other things don't even move. Look at Arrow, came down off its high, 50% off its high from this summer already. And it hasn't moved. Yet this other one shot up. Took the money out, move it over here, move it over there. There you go. 5 times 5 times 5 isn't 15x, it's 125x. And I think it's going to be way easier to pick 2 or 3 5x coins than it is to pick a 15 or 25 or 125x coin. Of course, you're going to have to watch the categories because you don't know how they're going to move. Odds are I'm not going to be able to do this with my entire portfolio, but I'm going to do it with as much money as I can because it dawned on me, if I invested, I'm just throwing a number out there, if I invested $100,000 and I'm thinking I'd like to hit a certain number, well, what if I could have invested $200,000? Well, in a way, that's kind of what I'm doing. Best case scenario, you invest $100,000, it 5x's, you sell, you invest it again, and that 5x's, now you got 2.5 million. Big difference. Have a great day. Hope this was helpful. As I always say, hope we can make generational wealth together with crypto. Thanks for watching.